So no one in. So, okay. So we'll call the meeting to order at 6:30 PM. The Park and Rec Commission meeting is public forum. There's no one in the audience and I don't see anyone online. Are you the participant? There, one participant?
Yes.
Yes. Just double checking, good. So we'll move on to the correspondence received and forwarded. Let's do, so we got one today. We're gonna push that to the August meeting because it really is in August. And do we have any correspondence
today?
Okay, so that was the camp one. Yes, it's gonna go to the August meeting. We got one also today, which I don't know if we got, but we're gonna move that to new business about parking at Long Hill Park. And then there was also one about benches. And the lake.
Yeah,
And we have to pick
the other one also.
Oh, we're gonna do that one today, right? Barbecues.
Yeah, the barbecue, there's two separate ones.
Yes,
Right.
yep.
And we have the ones who are saying. A couple recommendation. What's
Recommending.
no, nice things to say about our camp.
Yes, that was nice.
My mind is somewhere else.
Okay,
But we have a couple that really told us the campus was going.
going well, and I have firsthand knowledge from somebody I know closely who attends, and she loves it. She'd rather go there than to England, so.
I saw Camilla's your friend, right?
Yeah.
I saw her a couple of weeks ago. It was hot. The kids are just like lying on top of their counselors, like they were just, it was so cute.
And I also had a comment from somebody who lives above, Debbie, who was above, and she said, there's counselors, I don't know how they do it, they have hearts of gold, and so thank you to all our camp staff and everything, they do a great job. So I seem to, I brought it up, but I didn't, so Rose, what else did we have? Should we go on the one about the benches, request for the benches? Oh, yes, we'll do that next too. So move the benches back along the grass area, I believe, we moved them for safety issues.
I have to admit, in reading that letter, I have to understand better where we're talking
I believe-
about, and I even drove up there yesterday after the barbecue issue, because I was looking at that as well. But I didn't look at the benches. Did they mean in the parking lot? Because we had the pavilion?
As you come into the park, I was up there today, as you come into the parking lot. Right over here on this
Oh, right.
grassy area, there is where the staff parks.
Right,
And then just beyond that, there's a round area and the picnic benches. are
right,
back
okay,
there.
that's what I
But
thought.
they're sort of, today they were really back in the shade.
Okay.
But they have that whole area, they could be moved out.
Thank you.
Am I right? That there is a permanent grill there?
Yes, I think there is a grill there.
There
But-
were,
I'm sorry.
no, you go ahead.
Okay, so I remember you correctly.
But
I just
I mean,
hadn't-
it just had to be earlier in the month when I came home from Hartford and I saw people picnicking.
Oh, on the other side.
On the other, they had
Right,
moved the
that's
benches
what-
over and I called Pam and they took care of that right away. I went
Moved
back
them
and
back.
moved the benches.
They moved the whole picnic
back.
table,
They
right?
had,
Okay.
you know, how to
Yeah,
move.
yes, there was one there.
So the
So
bottom line is, we moved those from the area that's in front of the parked cars, right,
Right.
Rose? We all made a decision a couple
Like last year, a couple of years, yeah.
to move them from there back to where
Right.
they are to keep it safe, so the kids
Oh,
aren't playing ball and
Yes.
running out in the parking lot. And I believe the selectmen agreed because that's the parking lot and we don't
Oh, yeah.
have charge of the parking. So.
No, I was here when we did that. I wanted
So
to
she-
remember because we kind of got two issues going on
So
here.
she called me to give me the history. She's been a long time resident. This is where the picnic tables have always been, not in that area that you put them near the, woods where there's lots of ticks and things like that. So we want them moved back. That's where they historically for 30 years. And I said, well, from what I understand, if the commission has, this has been on the commission's agenda before and they're moved back for safety reasons, but I'd be happy to, if you want to write an email, please do. I can bring it to the commission's attention. And that's where we are.
That's where we are, where she found
Wait,
that she was.
A lot of tables were way in the back and they were close together. But they have that whole area in which to move them around. If you want to move yours closer to the front, so you're not near other people, you have that option and there's a lot of space there to do.
Right, so there's no, as commissioner, I feel there is no need to move the tables. We've done them for safety reasons. And that we can, is this something you want the commission to write back to, or
I don't think that's necessary,
no?
not
Okay,
unless there's any more pushback, but she understands that the commission has the final word. On decisions, anything happens in Guilford Parks, the commission has the right to make changes.
Is this the first time we're hearing about of this request? Is she the only one?
I think it's the first time, and I think it's been longer, it's not just this year
No,
that
it
the
was like
tables
a
were moved,
year,
it's been
it
a
was a
while.
year
It's a year when you decided.
It was
Right.
a
Year.
It's
It's been a
a
while.
year after COVID, because I
Right.
joined in COVID and it was
You
a
were
year
here.
when you could start to go out,
Right,
and I was here when we,
well, and
because
I
we
think,
did a walkthrough.
yes,
We did the walk, absolutely.
yeah. But, and I think the two different letters about Lake Quannapoga, they intersect, because some of the reason for moving the tables had to do with the barbecue situation.
Yes, which brings us to the next thing is the barbecue issue, which is more an enforcement of the rules, and is that up to our gate guards to
So
do that?
Ellen
And are
has
they
reached
okay
out
with
to them already and made sure that the next time they see it, they have to enforce it.
Excellent. So then
Um,
that's,
That's taking care
Because I was surprised because it was at the end of the day and it was just yesterday, but there was a gas grill that someone had brought in their cart. Which I know that's not the charcoal issue, but that was kind of a permanent thing, not permanent, but at least clearly you're there for the day if you plug that much equipment from your home.
They do that, on weekends.
Yeah.
Also.
they do,
They're
they
good.
come early,
It's the whole-
and
yeah,
it's the.
That's what I
whole
mean, but I mean, I
family.
don't think I had seen a gas grill necessarily there before, but.
Any grill.
Rose, do you want to add something?
The only thing I would say, that looking at the rest of the email, is I think the orange cones, in each direction, she wants more orange cones. I think that's up to the state highway. We can't just go put orange cones on the
No.
state road here.
No.
So that's up to the state highway to do
Right, and
that.
I don't think it's a bad thought. Because people do drive very fast and there is that corner.
You come around it and if you don't know there's a light there, yes.
And the light changes pretty quickly, which makes it good because I think that encourages pedestrians to use the light, but it also
So
coming around the
will-
corner.
I will get in touch with these, have a conversation about how they can address that and if they can put something before the curve, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, all through it. Is there a sign that?
There's a sign that had, yes, there's a light
Light.
picture of a traffic light, at least coming
From
from down here, or maybe both ways.
It's a place you always drive very slowly because usually there's a policeman.
Maybe there already is a sign there, we don't need to do anymore.
Yeah, I think there is a permanent sign, but
Maybe it needs flashing lights.
No more.
Okay.
Okay. So that's that correspondence, and then when, Rose, we had one more about a request to change the name of the ladies' room to women's room at Jacob's Peak. So your thoughts?
It's a sticker, so it's easy to change. Low cost.
I think the feeling is that
At this point,
do you make a change for one person? So the whole reason I came here for that was because, yes, I could easily do that. I could easily address it, but then if I address it,
Right, right.
two other people come back and say, why did you switch it to this? I don't like
Maybe
that.
all genders.
Yes.
I don't like that, right?
so that's what I was thinking, if we're changing it, that would be something else to address.
Oh, that'll come up actually, the other.
I think she sees the contrast between ladies. Right, she sees men and then ladies instead of women and men, or ladies and gentlemen. She probably,
Right.
in her mind, was thinking,
Yes, I personally, I think there's no need to change it. We're very busy right now. The staff is overwhelmed with work between maintaining and all the camps and everything. I am inclined, but I'm not the last word here. You know, maybe we change it when it's time to repaint the doors or something.
I mean, to Mary's point, it's not a big hassle. It isn't, but it's really about this commission to say, is it the right thing to do? I mean, nobody's been knocking down my door.
Well, what's the signs and all the other?
That's what I was gonna ask, what do they say and
In
like
the hallway
quantify?
here?
We say women, but we don't know what Quantapug says, so,
Right.
yeah, we really should go check all.
So,
I mean, it probably should all be the same.
Right.
so
Yeah.
why don't we check that out?
Yeah.
We'll check it out and I'll come back with.
We'll be consistent.
Right.
I mean, I don't see a difference really between ladies and women, but we ought to be consistent.
Well, actually, why don't you check it out and you think that it should be changed, just go ahead and change
I
think we should
agree.
change
it.
everything.
Okay, we don't
I
even
think
have
it should-
to
We should change everything to gentlemen.
My husband said change it to gentlemen. No,
Let's just go with boys and girls, you know.
Oh, yeah.
well, I said, I go to the ladies' room.
How about,
That's why.
legally, that's
I
what's true.
have to get a ladies,
Yeah.
so they're not, don't go to the ladies.
So generationals.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe I'm old, okay.
Okay.
And then there was that one, but that's about food waste, which we're
Yes,
gonna
I think we
continue.
just need to say that we're gonna take it up later.
Yeah, so the one about the food waste, we're gonna take up under new business. Okay. All right, have we got through all the correspondence? Did I miss anything? Excellent. So we move on to the approval of the minutes from the July 1st. We have a motion to approve meeting minutes. And somebody second it? Mary second, and any discussion, changes? Excellent, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Perfect. And you've got the expenditures are in there. So next is review of the expenditures. So.
Packet.
Here. You want to- My printers, look mine. So if we start with just a motion to
Oh, yeah.
approve and a second, and then we can.
So moved.
Second, okay. Any changes to questions or things that you'd like to know?
Can I go back for a second? I don't know. I think I approved minutes. I actually wasn't here last time.
Oh,
So I'm an abstention. For the minutes last time, I was not here.
So she abstained.
Approving the minutes, I abstained. Should have. abstained. For the,
She should have.
For the minutes.
Right now.
no, I'm not changing the, did we just already approve the minutes?
Yes.
Have one abstention, that's all she said.
That's all I'm saying. No, I was not here last time, so I approved the minutes from last time, but I shouldn't have. I should have said I abstained. For your notes for the next minutes.
She's abstaining from the vote.
Yeah, no, I know that.
Didn't you already just vote?
Yeah, she already knew you had.
Oh, well, you're ahead of me then.
That's why I love that. She said, take care of us.
What you vote?
We're like, who's on first?
Sorry, I will keep my mouth shut.
Please do.
Okay, so we have a first, got the first and the second for the, okay, discussion on the expenditures.
Easy to read.
Okay, and we have, I guess that's it. We need a vote to approve the expenditures as presented. And we have the first and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Perfect, thank you.
No.
So we've gotten our director's report, so Cam, you wanna tell us anything about it or point out anything?
Well, I will point out that we're getting so close to the playground, as much as I put the playground highlights in here, Bittner playground equipment has been ordered, so hopefully it will be in, hoping mid-August, which is super exciting. And then once it's in, I did today go to the Board of Selectmen, we got the $406,000 approved by the Board of Selectmen, so that's checked off. There's nothing else to do other than to install it. Take it out gently, we're gonna donate it to Guatemala. Yeah.
Nice.
Our playgrounds are going to Guatemala.
Oh, that's,
Yeah, so the particular gentleman I'm dealing with, him and his wife have a place in Guatemala as well as in Connecticut, and they donated, I believe, 15 playgrounds over there already. And they have 15 so many kids doing. Fine, so he's got a great mission, it's working. He He asked about ours.
He just inquired about it.
I met him at a conference and he also took the two playgrounds from Darien too when I was out there.
Oh, okay.
So it is really cool. So hopefully, in a perfect world, we can get this in mid-August and then we can schedule for the, we'll probably schedule pretty soon to have that.
Vintner, right?
Vintner gently removed because we'll need some time to do that. So with social media, any help from the commission getting the word out by email blast, we'll let the public know that the playground's going to be removed soon. I can also put a standing sign there as well, just to give people a heads up that we'll be getting a playground. And most likely, it's gonna be anywhere from mid-August to September, mid-September, the install. And got all the approvals for Jacobs, except for, I'm still currently working on the add alts on that project, which is the raising the grade of the playground underneath, raising the grade of the lawn in front of the pavilion surface, and the two shade structures. So I've been in touch with the resident who is donating the money for the shade structures. He's super excited that we're on track still. So I'm in a perfect world if we could get the orders in. But hopefully that equipment comes in 6 weeks, 6-7 weeks, and then weather is an issue. So we can't put pour and play in November with the weather. So it is possible to install in November and do the pour and play in the spring. So I've kind of teased out that scenario, but we'd like to do it all at once in October. So if we can get it done in October, that would be the most ideal time. So again, moving parts, that one's gonna be gently removed. So hopefully after summer, everything's over. September, we can remove it, and in October, we install it. So, or maybe even October 1st, remove it and install it. So it's all kind of working.
What's the actual amount of labor and time it takes to do something like that?
Depending on weather.
Well, I mean, in an ideal situation.
So I would say 3 to 4 weeks. Yeah, and good, perfect weather, I'd say 2 to 3. Mixed weather,
So
3 to 4.
just like an
So let's say
average.
2 to 3.
Yeah.
All right, so that's that. I stuck the new initiative of the food waste diversion program. Hopefully that's self-explanatory as you're reading it.
So
I read
that
it.
kind of takes care of,
What happens to food waste? Where does it actually?
All right, so like the town is moving in that direction. So today, without us even talking about this, they have food scraps that you can bring from your home to the food waste, to the waste transfer station.
Yeah, and there's a place in Madison called like Blue Earth. or
Blue
something.
Earth, that's where you're using them.
Yeah.
Yep, so Blue Earth, so people are starting to respond because they realize that food is not waste, like it can go
It's
be made into
organic
compost and
matter,
into
right.
energy. So people are scraping their food and some are doing compost in their yard, right? And they're taking their scraps to the waste transfer station, and Blue Earth will pick it up monthly or whenever it's full, and then they bring it to make compost. Wherever
all
that
done by
is. Yes, yep. It's contracted through them. So the town has a contract with them. Now I have a contract with them for the senior center. So it's super exciting because there's so much food waste. There's so much.
We started doing it just.
We pay them.
We do, but see, the goal is, it's not too bad. It's like $32 for the pickup per week. But our trash right now is picked up 3 times a week by Bazzuto's, and the third was added while I've been here because there's such overflow of garbage that I said, add another pickup. It's disgusting, like it's over, like it can't handle the garbage. Now that we're taking the food waste out of it, the garbage should go from here to here. So the goal would be to cut out 2 of them and have them only come once a week. And if that's the case that it goes that low, our guys, we have a garbage truck. So there's no reason they couldn't pick it up. They're doing trash runs all over, but the problem is they couldn't pick up the bag because it was so heavy from food waste. So now if it's not heavy from food waste, they should be able to manage that. So there could be a really, I believe we pay the Zoos about $15,000 a year. Could change. So that's a big savings to the taxpayer.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're
It's the
welcome.
first time they did it with the seniors, there was over 150 people at that lunch, and I think you put it in your
Yeah,
report, total
It's about 50 pounds.
great. So they have to have a scale, we need a scale,
So
so
what's
we're weighing
happening-
what we took, because it doesn't
Yeah.
look like a. But when you weigh it, it's 50 pounds, 49
And they've
pounds.
got used to it already.
Have they really?
Yes, they have.
And now the kitchen staff is participating because there's a lot of like, you know, you're
Yes.
chopping celery and you're chopping tomatoes and chopping everything else. That's going in the garbage. Now it's going in a separate
And
container.
and that also is like, it's just gonna, it's great, it's fantastic, just a public PR to also the residents in town to know that this is happening. And hey, by the way, reminder, you can take your stuff
So
out.
currently we have somebody standing there. I have one gentleman on Monday and Tuesday, and I have one volunteer on Sandy on Thursdays and Fridays, just there to educate. Because people are still kind of like, oh,
Yeah.
where do I put my plastic fork and spoon and knife? Trash. You know, where do I put my see-through clear cup in recycling?
So I didn't know they were recyclable
Right.
until last time, the last time I didn't know that.
So I still have to do a better job with signage, but we got started so quickly that, you know, I could do better there. But we did buy it, all like I showed you the pictures here, we did buy a system. And so, yeah, we're chugging forward on that. Fireworks event, was great. I've gotten some really great feedback on the music and just the day itself. The concerts of Jacob Beach are all over. I think they went fantastic.
They were fun.
Yeah, and there was always good crowds there. It was great.
Though I have to say, I left the last one early, it's just too hot.
Why do we end them? Why can't we carry them? I know, just put something else on your plate in, through August or.
We could consider that for next year too. I think, it was an idea. They went for it. It was pretty much only 4 concerts in July. Oh,
Is
July
it
and
too much of a
August.
burden on the town or on your staff or on?
Oh, the library also.
Yeah,
They
on the
do.
same night, there were some conflicts.
Yeah, I did see that.
So it's kind of nice to only, you know.
Yeah, but I've gone from one to the other. So
Yeah.
because they have
Yeah.
balance,
Libraries
right?
are earlier.
No,
Oh,
maybe
they-
not,
they
maybe
start
they're
at
later, oh, they start.
I should meet with Rob
Yes.
Library
And we should
and we should
coordinate.
coordinate that better
Yeah.
because if people have the opportunity to do them on a different day, it'd be nice, it's just better for the community.
Mhm.
You know, maybe they do theirs on Wednesday, or we could change it and do it
Yeah.
on Wednesday. They do theirs on Thursday, but there is not a burden on staff, other than
Okay, I
a
just-
staff member has to
has to
be
be there.
there. You know, but I tell them, look, you can flex your day, you could come in at, you know, at 10 instead of being there at 8 and have a, you know, you don't have to break up, you don't have to be in early, it's just
Safe
safe.
assignment to go work at the beach
Yeah.
and.
Yeah, that was something that we could tease out. Could also, we have lifeguards down there, we have camp staff, they might want a few extra hours just to pay them to stay on, that's fine too. Yeah. And as you know, Sunday concerts, the first one was the Beatlemania, or first one was Tuxedo Junction. That's got postponed. The Beatlemania was amazing, it was so much fun, and last night just snuck up on me, so I missed that one. because
I sweated it out with you all day.
Oh,
We
man.
had it and the rain came after?
No.
No,
they
okay,
rained
just
it.
as they're doing this.
I mean, literally, I was swimming at Hammonasset at 4 o'clock in the sun,
Yep.
and I was like, I made a good decision. And then I showed up there, everything's set up, and it was like, are you kidding me? And then Laura
And I
calls me,
called, I
she's
said,
like,
it's pouring up here at our house and it hadn't started down.
Oh, so
Yeah.
it
Oh,
just,
coming.
that 50 turned into 85% rain, and it just was. So for the remaining Sundays, I won't be going with it.
So do we bring them inside?
They have
And the
tried.
rain had in the past, but it's
They bring
hard.
no
for-
truck.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, so
Postpone. I would have, literally everybody, I was writing the text. Postpone to September 1st, are you available? And I paused, I looked at the weather again, and I was like, delete. Oh, yeah, that's hard, it was so hard, so I would have switched them to September 1st if they were available, or September 15th. But now the next 3 concerts, if there's rain, we'll have those September dates for them, so it is what it is.
well,
Yeah.
between that and the camp and telling you, deciding when to
Okay,
put them
so
in the high
much.
school.
a
It's
lot.
like 100% chance of rain, you put them in the high school and it's sunny all day long.
Yeah, well,
Like, so I don't know.
90% and 100% is great to see. Anything in between 0 and 90 is fine.
I don't know how you would make that decision.
Capital
so-
improvement projects, I gave you a ultimate list of what we
You
have
mind?
going on.
Another question.
Yeah.
The EV charging unit,
Yes.
is it operational?
No.
I've used
It's supposed to be.
ChargePoint, I use ChargePoint all over the place. I've used it everywhere and I have an app. And it's not being recognized by the app. Yeah.
Well, couple questions, because
Yeah.
it's new to me. Do we own that charging station?
Yes,
And was it, can we buy it?
yes, the town did.
I've got
The
a
town
grant
makes
to
money
install
on people
them.
charging there, I think.
They
There's-
installed 3, they put one here, one in the parking lot behind the Whitfield Street stores, and then they put a second one at the town hall.
Town hall's been there for quite a few
Yeah,
years.
but they got another,
They got a new one.
second one.
Do you use a credit card to
You have,
You know,
it's an
you
app.
need the app.
an
You have
app?
an app,
Okay,
yeah.
but it's to a credit card.
It's true, yeah, it's a great system. It works really well.
And is it, so I don't know anything about chargers, but Tesla has one charging type of. Everything else is something else?
Everything else is something else.
What is that?
That's J2, I think that's what it's called. But the Tesla people can use it. They just have an adapter.
Oh,
Oh, interesting, I didn't know that.
okay,
So I do know it was supposed to be operational because we turned off the power on Saturday morning for that system to be turned on. So this is the first I'm hearing it doesn't work.
So who's the person who would, well, we'll talk.
Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
we
get
got
in touch
time.
with Steve.
Yeah.
Steve Nyberg and Todd were the
I'll
ones.
come down and test it.
Yeah.
You guys.
Need someone with
Come
the
on
app.
down.
So we'll deal with that, but I did give you a clear picture of how many things were left over in 22, 23, 24, and then of course what we're working on currently in 25. So there is a lot of projects going on. So
Work on that.
yes, but actually they were split up. $40,000 was split up, and so we are moving on it right now. We just got purchase orders done, so the bathroom should be done by the end of August. So that's good news. The fire alarm and elevator has been going on forever, and that is a contractor issue right now between the lawyers. We worked it all out. That should be signed, the contract should be signed in the next couple of weeks. And that's gonna take a good 7 or 8 months. So that's a big, long contract, but just wanted to give you an idea what's happening, and now we're gonna start.
We're gonna have that trailer for him.
Where's that?
Well, this trailer is not is not Tony's trailer.
Oh,
No.
okay, oh, okay.
No, Tony's trailer, I would love, we've been having some discussions behind the scenes on that, because if Route 80 doesn't happen for another,
Yeah, umpteen years.
then why should we keep paying for that? I think maybe the commission might need to get involved about moving forward with the line. Because if it's still sitting there and we're paying 15,000 a year, so anyway, we'll bring it up when it.
The only thing I would say about the
Necessary.
report, the new exit of Jacob's Beach, I love
Yes, so does, so
I love it. It works
It
well,
works
yes.
so well, especially with camp time, because you couldn't get out unless
Right.
somebody stopped 10
why
feet
was
away.
it ever blocked?
I think that I believe I heard that they were afraid that people were coming in the exit.
Right, so
While
they
the others were occupied,
Right.
people were just like.
slide in.
Not
Well,
bad.
if they're gonna do it, they're gonna do it anyway.
Right.
Most people don't do that. And this has made the traffic flow so much better. Except for all the roadworks on the way to the beach and at the end there, it's actually been a great success.
That's good, awesome.
Very.
Let's see, through. As you can see, the highlights by each staff member. I think that's about it. I mean, staff at Ellen and the staff have been doing great with the cleanups despite Taryn having taken another job. We have hired someone, his name is Rob. And he's starting on August 19th. And he's super enthusiastic, passionate,
And what's his position?
program coordinator.
Oh, he's replacing Tara.
Yep, so we're anxious
Where's he
to have him. He's from Wallingford.
you work there?
No, he doesn't work for Park and Rec. He worked in a different field, but he's got a marketing background, which we're really excited about. In terms of getting information out there, but he's got some athletics background, and he just brings a really enthusiastic approach to recreation. So I think you'll all really like him a lot, and maybe what we could do is invite him to meet you at the September commission meeting. So that's my highlight.
Okay, so the committees, standing fields.
Sandy Hills, we did not, they canceled.
All right, green committee?
Green, never been there yet.
Okay, that's fine. What do you do with your time? And land acquisition, Susan's not here, so we've just buzzed through all of that, unless you have something to. Okay, I think we've touched on some of this. So new playground update, you kind of gave that to us
Yeah.
with your director's report. Pickleball committee,
Are you gonna,
Want me to update?
yeah,
So we met a few different times, and we've met about 3 or 4 different times now, and the last meeting being with Tom Hinding. And John Sotoje, did I say that right?
Sunday.
Sunday. Okay, and just about another recent problem at the courts, and as a committee, we all discussed, there was 3 different there were 3 different layouts of rules that were submitted. We're looking to condense those into one to change the current rules that we have up there. We have not finished that condensing rules, but we
We have an agreement.
close, you're very close. Yeah.
we're close.
Remind me who's on the committee, so it's Mike and you and Susan and Rodney, and then,
Do you have
Couple hours, we
some
call it
outside
couple hours,
people
I think.
right, that's what I thought.
Oh, we do have one. We do have
Margaret?
one else.
Margaret, right?
Margaret.
Yep.
Yep, and I mean, I think we've all been listening to some of the struggles that have been happening there. We're talking about even 1 through 4, courts 1 through 4 versus courts 5 through 7. And then the temporary ones, which are 8 and 9. So we're talking about let's move forward with the rules, see how it goes, and if we have to separate those, like making courts 1 through 4, the place that you do put your paddle in and rotate. And maybe 5 through 7 are for people that just want to go play on their own and they don't want to rotate. But the committee will make that decision and bring it to the commission for approval. So that's the plan.
So I have been on their email list just to keep in the loop, and I've been very impressed with all of you, and you know, it's been really good, your responses and everything, and so you guys really moved quickly on it. When you think about
I
it.
think
It's-
we're on a way to solving
Yeah,
it, to whatever degree you can.
Until the next,
Yeah,
whatever.
Till the next blow up.
First of all, you can put whatever you want up there, the people that have to follow it, and if they don't follow it, there's somebody up there to.
I think 95% of the people will follow it without a question.
That's all I can really. There's been quite a few talks about, there are people up there that are professional instructors
They're teaching lessons,
and they're teaching lessons.
and they should.
And that's one of the.
They should
rules that
not.
I'm supposed to
They're not supposed to
Right.
be there.
I approached some guy that he had a big ball bag,
Yeah.
he had all this, he had 4 women he was instructing. And I walked up to him last week and said, you know, you're supposed to go to Park and Rec if you're getting paid as an instructor. Oh, we're not getting paid, nobody's paying anybody, you know. So it's hard to enforce. but-
Very.
I think there's somebody that teaches at Adams
Oh, yeah.
early in the morning, because
They
not
do it on our
early, I
tennis
go like
courts too.
at
It's-
8:30 or so on my office. They look, they're gathered together in a group.
Have
and
their
they-
balls, yeah, rock cages.
Since the pickleball place Blazing.
Place.
Sports closed, they closed recently?
Yeah.
May, I think it was.
Oh, okay, but did that change the flow? Has it gotten busier on the courts, do you think?
I
since-
think it has a little bit. 'Cause
I
people-
wonder,
Especially if it rained, everybody would go there.
Yeah.
Not a big difference though.
Fireworks update, did you give us that already? You had great feedback or?
I did have really good feedback, and one particular instructor that actually went, this was great, she came in to the senior lunch and she just said, I have to tell you, the music was amazing, she just loved it, and, you know, like someone like that didn't understand that there were little bloops that happened, so that was good, because when things do happen like that at an event, you just hope that it gets corrected internally and the public don't see it, so.
I think that is absolutely the case, because I had no idea until I spoke to you, and all I said was, it was great, I love the music.
So it was, and I think it just kind of fell into place because, as some of you know, I got in touch with Pyrotechnical because I've always had soundtrack to my fireworks. Got a soundtrack from them. We changed out the songs we wanted to change out. We made it to a soundtrack that we thought the public would like. And then I got to the fireworks and then the shooter didn't know that there was a soundtrack. So Pyrotechnico never told the Pyrotechnico shooter that there was a soundtrack. So I was there at 12 o'clock. We had 9 hours to figure it out. So I went and got it from my phone. We compared it. The sound guy already had it, but the soundtrack was only 18 minutes. The show was 22. So our plan B was like, listen, when Whitney Houston starts, you throw up the shots when she sings the, bombs are bursting. And then wait 5 seconds and just let your show go and let the music go. And it just ended. And then what was great about it, the music ended. And then the finale started. And then that's where most people were so happy the music ended anyway.
Right, it's usually.
Yeah, because then you could feel it in your chest and it was loud and so it just totally worked out. And it was just great.
Good to be lucky.
Good to be lucky. Not so much less than
Yeah.
All right, pedal boats?
Pedal boats, for all of you that know that we've had some issues with the pedal boats, they did bring in 2 gentlemen that traveled from Indiana to come down and fix them. And they're 2 out of the 4 really they were not built correctly. They didn't have, they were drilling holes in them and they were, so anyway, long story short, they fixed them. Originally, they wanted us to fix them.
Patch it or something.
Patch them, and I was like, no, if we patch it, then with our warranty, what happens to our warranty? So all we had to do was tag our town attorney and then they were on the road. So they're,
I think it would have been cheaper to just replace.
well, we're still under warranty. So at this point, well, they had some work out here anyway. So, but anyhow, they're on the water, they're using them again, and yeah, they look really great. And that's that.
And then did we cover everything in new business because of,
So,
have a schedule? Do I need to discuss the schedule or you already mentioned?
I mentioned
All
it.
right, and we did the food waste diversion.
Oh, shoot.
Can we go back for a second? On the senior meal program, your report, could you do me a favor? Could you add month from a year ago? So if we're looking at June, we can't see the prior June.
Where are we? The food waste?
Oh, it's in
Oh,
the,
page 6.
it's in the email that she sent everybody an
Page
email
6.
with. Sent it to everybody,
Under the Beatles.
The Excel.
Page 6.
Under the Beatles.
So
Dude,
it's in our Excel spreadsheets that Pam sent us recently.
What is?
I sent you 2 files.
So they look like
Printed
this,
them out.
Okay,
and it's in there.
It has the prior June.
Right.
okay.
The prior June was senior meal. You want me to read them off?
I just thought in the future it'd be nice to see
Yeah.
that, because that's why you can make the calculation of June through.
So at the
Okay,
time, I
here.
didn't have the comparison. Now we
So
have the
I
comparison.
kind of cut and paste, you can have a look at this if you want, or I can also email this to
I'm good,
everybody.
I'm good, I just thought.
I mean, the biggest thing is, the biggest thing is our.
I have both years, so I have 2 years of
It was
revenue,
a little bit.
2 years of expenditures, and I don't know why I didn't do the difference for the revenues, but I did the difference on that.
So the eye-opening thing about fiscal 23 and fiscal 24. and quite honestly, all fiscal years before fiscal 23, this senior center meals has always been subsidized by the town. We have never broke even, we have never made a profit. This fiscal 24, we came ahead by $1,700. So what's eye-opening about it is that the expenditures went down from fiscal 24 from $280,000 in fiscal 23 to fiscal 24, $227,000. That's one of
You
the
see that difference
most
on that
eye-opening
sheet over
things.
there.
So it's more mindful spending, right? And I did meet with Larry and Terry today about that because I wanted to tell them that, look, this is the model we need to go after. However, this work that we're spending less and we're actually bringing in more revenue as well. because of the Rotary breakfast, Rotary lunch, some special birthday lunches, we're bringing in. Fiscal 23 was $13,000, fiscal 24, we brought in $24,000.
Did they have a magic elixir that did that, or is it, they surprised also?
They, Larry, he was surprised, but I think what I gather is there was a feeling of like, well, every year it's subsidized, so I think there was just like, he's on a schedule, and he orders, he makes the menus, and I don't think there was a lot of attention. They didn't pay a lot of attention to the bottom line, because there was always this subsidy. It never, model didn't work, but it does work. So
Just being more mindful, you think?
to me, that's what I said. I said, look, in fiscal 23, there was never a month that was over $20,000 a month on expenses. In fiscal 24, everything was under $20,000. So that's the model we should be doing. Everyone's still happy, they're getting enough food, they're, right, Meals on Wheels are still happening, so.
It's kind of crazy with all the expenses that have increased.
Right, I know,
It's so hard to.
It's just hard to wrap your head around.
I know.
But anyway,
But it makes, hey, we're gonna keep
To
it
me,
going.
however you got here, now we need to be looking at under $20,000. Should be no $29,000 spent in January. There should.
Does that include cable expenses or
No.
just-
Is the breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
It's more than just the lunch.
Yeah,
It's
no,
the
it's-
breakfast, it's Rotary breakfasts, lunches. So there's more that goes into this than just the senior
This is a big,
meal.
That's it.
landmark.
July, August,
Well, 6
Yeah,
months, I think it's
That's 6 months, so it's nothing.
Stands more than-
Because that was new. They never,
Oh, I see.
right, we
So that's
started, taking notice of that.
Right.
All right,
Yeah.
so that was your answer, right? Now where do we stand? So we did the
Food waste.
we did the other thing, so that's anyone like to add anything, ask
I have
anything?
a question about, beach closures and notifications. Are they only on the website, or is there like a hotline? I remember calling, I either called or came in and asked somebody at the front desk, and they didn't know.
Beach
What?
closures, and we've only had one since.
Well, there's been.
Now there's
They get bacteria like that.
Secretary, but I've had a long conversation with the health director here, because in Darien it was done so differently, and here. I mean, if it rained over an inch, the beaches were closed, and here it's different, they handle it differently. Because they don't go out and test the very next day after rain, because they know that it's going to be. Right, they wait, it's just different. So anyway, now that they closed it and they, that we got the email, it went directly to the website. So we may not have gotten it to our front staff right away at that moment that you asked.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was. I'm just curious if there's, and I mean, this is maybe a future vision, that there's an app and there's an SMS text to people that sign up for the app saying, beaches are closed, or.
Great idea. Well,
And maybe
Someone
you're-
put that on, did somebody put that in one of the groups in like Simply Guilford or something, or?
Maybe the new young guy from Wallingford.
well, he's very, very good. As a matter of fact, one of the things he said in his interview was that, is there any reason why Parks and Rec doesn't have their own website? And he's absolutely correct. And I know that Alan set it up with the town 10 years ago, but it's 10 years later now. And the town of Guilford website and the Facebook and the Instagram, yes, they have their followers, but if we set up our own, we'll just share them with them. And we'll still have, so I'm really excited about this kid starting, because I understood from like Laura Kenny, who's doing the Porch Fest, she goes, Pam, I can't find you. It took me forever to find Park and Rec, and that's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem. So.
I would be really up for,
Is the town website getting redone? Maybe I heard, maybe I imagined.
no, well, I don't know. I mean, it was semi recently, like, if we count like.
I don't.
5 years ago now.
Hire somebody to come in and do like a video or something.
Yes, we did, you're right, but I would really, especially, I mean, the website certainly, because even I'm always, I'll be crazy stuff, and if I didn't, but definitely for social media, there's so much to say about Parks and Rec too. So like, it would be great to have your,
I mean, those paddle boats should be
Right,
on a
everything-
video in
right,
whatever,
and
right?
it would be great to have our own.
And talk about the food waste and
Yes,
like.
we are going, we are gonna.
There's so much that could be done with it and all those things. That would be great.
Okay, any other questions? All right, can you make a motion to adjourn? Second, first, second. All right, adjourn the meeting at 7. This was a quick one, April 16th. Thank you very much.
Here.